Hey guys. Today we're going to talk about cello playing position. So we have our cello here. We're going to get ourselves set to play. First thing is a quick refresher on your seated position. Make sure that you're on the front edge of the chair. Remember, you're behind on the chair, your legs not. Heels below the knees. Nice tall posture, keeping the shoulders tall and open. We talked about the feeling of making the open shoulders happen by bringing the index fingers out across the collarbones to open that up. But now we want to make sure it's relaxed, so we're going to kind of roll our shoulders a little bit and make sure it's nice and relaxed. Now, in terms of how we set the length of the end pin, because cello, of course, has this end pin, that's what it'll sit on. I'm going to have to adjust camera angle, which is a little weird, but you'll be all right. All right, so when we have enough end pin pulled out, a little more than that. The scroll of the cello should be right on your nose, with it standing straight up and down in front of you. So at that point, you'll be in pretty good shape. So it's just sitting right on its end pin, straight up and down, and the scroll is right even with my nose. So now I'm going to be okay in terms of how I set it. We're going to talk about the few important places to think about to make sure this is right. But we do want to make sure this is the right height for us. That's incredibly important. So, actually might have made this slightly too high. In terms of where we are going to hold the instrument, there's 3 spots you need to think about. First is the inside of your knees. The inside of your knees are going to hold the cello right on this edge, just below the C-bout, on the back of the instrument, right on that edge. It can be a little pointy. You don't want to squeeze it, but it should just set gently between your 2 knees. So the feet are outside the instrument. The instrument always is square to our body. We don't go to some kind of crazy angle. We don't do a position, guitar-ish kind of position. Everything straight in front of us. So we have the knees. That's the first point. The second point is the back of the instrument here. We'll touch about where the 3rd button on your shirt would be if you were in a button-down shirt. And then the last piece is the peg for the C string tucks in behind your left earlobe. So this peg for the lowest string right behind your left earlobe. Very important that you do not have the head of the instrument, the peg box or the neck should not sit on your shoulder. Very, very important. So, review, we're in a good seated position. Knees are outside the instrument, just below the C-bout. Instrument is touching your midsection, your chest, right about where the 3rd button on a button-down shirt would be. And that C peg is behind your left earlobe. From there, we have a nice, tall playing position. We're going to put the hand, the bow hand, the right hand out in front of us. And then that would just relax down, and that will become that bowing position. And the left arm will come around onto the neck. I want you to think about the position of that left hand like you're holding a can of soda. It should be round. The thumb should be round. The fingers should be round. And we want it to be a nice straight angle through the wrist and just gently onto the instrument. When we go to pluck, we'll talk about this later as well, but when we go to pluck, we'll plug over the fingerboard with the index finger. One more component to think about. When you have your set here, your knees are outside the instrument. Remember, your feet are below your knees. Look down. Your 2 feet and the end pin of the cello should make an equilateral triangle. If they don't, then you need to adjust where that end pin is. If they do that kind of thing where it's a right triangle or an isosceles triangle or something crazy, then you need to make sure that you alter where the end pin is set so that it makes that equilateral triangle. Last but very important component, you want to make sure that you have a rock stop. The ones that I like are these, they're called slip stops, metal on the top, little rubber on the bottom. And what this does is it just is a cup that the end pin goes into so that it doesn't scratch up the floors at your house or anywhere else that you're playing. Initially, you'll get, your end pin will have a rubber stopper on it. Sometimes those disintegrate, sometimes they fall off and are lost. But if you take it off, there's a very sharp metal spike under there. We don't want that to turn into a reason that parts of our home or our playing space get scratched up or destroyed. So having a rock stop is very important. Also, the rock stop gives us stability so that the end pin won't take off. The rubber is there to be non-skid and will not slip across the floor. If it does start to slip across a hardwood floor or something, the way to take care of it, turn it around so you're looking at the bottom and just fog it up like a window. And then that should take care of it, and it'll be nice and sticky again and ready to not slide across the floor. I hope this helps. I'll see you soon. Thank you, guys.